Hello and welcome to the Free Cheese episode 622. I'm your Joe Dix, joined by Matt Sellner.
Hello.
The Free Cheese is a weekly video game podcast about video games brought to you once a week by thefreecheese.com. This week we're racing the Tokyo Highway, Matthew 3. Tokyo Highway 3. That's where we're at. Matt, what is the coolest car?
Oh God, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, the correct answer is the Toyota MR2, but we'll accept the Toyota Supra.
Okay. First thing I was gonna say was a Ferrari or a McLaren, but sure, the Toyota.
Yeah, it's a Toyota for sure. It has to be. Um, I guess the Skyline also pretty cool. It's
Represent
just
Nissan.
big to me.
It is a yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like a more compact car.
Now you're
But
talking about. Now I forgot. I forgot to fucking write something down in a note. Damn it! I gotta look at the starting cars.
do you have time to write it down? Oh, I see, I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, you've got a minute because I've got some history to take us on
Okay.
this here journey as we talk Tokyo Extreme Racer 3, developed by Genki, published by Crave Entertainment here in the US, released for the PlayStation 2. I've got conflicting results here. We're going to go with this one. Released on PlayStation 2, November 18th, 2003. The back of the box reads, in 2001, Tokyo Extreme Racer Zero gave players the opportunity to tear up the highways of Tokyo. Now, 2 years later, Tokyo Extreme Racer 3 adds the highways of Yokohama, Osaka, and Nagoya, taking total road length to a monster 200 miles. All of it accurately modeled to look and feel just like modern Japan. For the first time in the series' history, TXR3 uses real cars licensed from Japanese, North American, and European car manufacturers. And our bullet points read, over 15 different licensed car manufacturers such as Nissan, Toyota, GM, Ford, Mercedes-Benz, and Volkswagen. 200 miles of faithfully recreated roads made to look and feel just like the real roads of Japan. Massive upgrade to the physics engine, special effects, graphical editors, weather conditions, courses, textures, lighting, menus, options, car tuning features, and rival characters. There are, speaking of, over 600 rivals to challenge on the highways. And our last bullet point, an awesome level of car tuning options allows you to adjust just about every car body part and every car performance aspect. Modify your car with custom parts from such manufacturers as Hart, Riverside, and Yokohama. Customize your paint job with the skin editor that gives you pixel level control over the look of your ride. Tokyo Extreme Racer 3. There's more history to dive into, but I would be remiss to say, uh, when I added this excitedly to the list this year, and you learned of it, what what was your expectation of this game? What did you think this game was?
I had never really heard of the series somehow. I just don't think it gets enough light of day as some of the other popular series do. But no, I just kind of figured it was like a Midnight Club type, one of those. There's enough customization, but it doesn't lean too heavy on it. And
Right,
then you're
not so
kind of like
sim.
racing other cars, and you're kind of going through the menus and selected race one in this location, maybe with some kind of open world free ride element. Because yeah, PS2, I'm thinking like Need for Speed Underground. It's like around this time, all Midnight Club, as I said, like all that fun stuff's around this time. So I figured it was just another one of those, but from Well, I didn't know at the time when you said it, but Genki. Now that I know.
Yeah, from a different developer. Yeah. Um, I had first heard of Tokyo Extreme Racer for the Dreamcast, the first in the series Tokyo Extreme Racer. So I played a lot of that one for the first time in 2021. Whenever I got my Dreamcast that Christmas recently, the year after I spent just destroying Tokyo Extreme Racer and having a great time doing it. And that one, like this one mentioned, does not have licensed cars, but they're all like kind of facsimiles of what you know, like you know what I mean? You can look
Hmm.
at it and you're like, that's a Civic, you know. Um, I played that and then kept wanting to play two and never ended up picking up two for a Dreamcast. I instead picked up Zero for PS2 and played a good bit of that. Um, and then I had bought three. Like I had three and I wanted to play three, and I'm like, let's not play three. Let's wait until let me go into one I haven't touched and play it for the podcast. So that's where we added three to the list. But the series actually runs older than what I played. 1999's Tokyo Extreme Racer goes all the way back to Shutoko Battle 94, the first in the series, which came out on Super Famicom. Still same like uh premise, generally speaking. You know,
Hmm.
the idea of racing on a Japanese highway. Um, and then I, honestly, if you want more of a deep dive into the history, I really strongly, thoroughly encourage you to go watch John Linneman's coverage of it on Digital Foundry. Did you watch that before this? You should do that. It's John goes through the history of the whole Tokyo Extreme Racer series, and he looks at a lot of the spin-offs and a lot of the other games that Genki did. So where this one is more the highway racer, there's also the drift, the downhill drifting, which is a different part of Japanese racing culture, but yeah, still a big one. After this, I think honestly, like historically, I don't remember ever seeing this game at a Blockbuster or a Best Buy, wherever I may have been getting games back in the PS2 era. But I do remember later one in the series, Import Tuner Challenge that came out on 360. I think I rented that or something. But I remember that box art. I remember that for sure. Um, I it's been forever since I played it. If I even played it, maybe I just played a demo of it because that was back in that era where 360 games, I think a lot of them had demos you could play in some fashion. And then yeah, I played the PSP spin-off Street Supremacy, which kind of like it loses the you're picking your races before you get on the highway, which as you know from playing this defeats the entire purpose of
Yeah.
the game. Um I, the series not we're going to dive into this game specifically, but the series went on a long hiatus. There's not another numerical Tokyo Extreme Racer after 3. You get some spin-offs, you get some other things, you get some different takes. There's a long 5-year hiatus until they put out a mobile game in 2011, a 6-year hiatus until another one hits in 2017, and then that seems like we're done. Genki's out. Hadn't heard much out of Genki until randomly last year. I think weeks after adding this to the list and officially like confirming it with Matt, here they are locking in Tokyo Extreme Racer 2025. It hit Steam early access in January. The full launch, I believe, is still scheduled for September. Uh, it's back and it's really good. But it all kind of starts here, and I hope that this game has helped to convert you into a fan of Tokyo Extreme Racer. So let's dive into it. There is a story in the game, which I don't think matters at all. Um, I I mean, yeah, generally you just play as a someone racing the highways. You're a lone wolf and you take out rivals as they come.
Dude, so the way the story mode or like the quest mode starts, I thought like demons were involved somehow. Like it's really
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
cryptic
yeah,
in the way I don't remember the line they used, but I'm like, what? Maybe
yeah,
because I'm coming off of cosmology and folklore of Japan's all around me. I'm like, what's going on?
yeah. It's a little but no, they're just people, just
Yep.
humans in a
Yep.
gang. Um yes, you dive in. You start off, you have a little bit of money and you buy a car. And I mean, I will say up front, the game is buy a car, race that car, make that car better with your winnings, and then keep going. Like that is the game. So if you don't like racing, if you don't like driving around the Tokyo Highway, you're probably not going to like this game. Um, what was your first car? Do you remember?
So this is a loaded question in a way because I've had multiple first cars
Uh-oh.
for reasons. But I think once I finally got the game working, I think I ended up with a 350Z, specifically
Okay,
Nissan
nice.
350Z. At one
Yeah.
point, I'm pretty sure I had a Mazda RX-8, but again, I don't know. Those two cars look similar in style, and I know that's the style, like the body design of my car is something like that. It's not the more boxier cars that you can have in this game.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I went Nissan 350Z.
What color? Do you remember?
Starter color or where we landed?
Ah, starter color.
I think I went black. Just the
Nice. Yeah,
yeah.
it's good. It's a good color on that car. I coincidentally at the time of starting this game, so I've got note timeline here. I put this disc in my PS2 on January 16th. And at that time, I'd been watching a ton of Initial D, so I went with the Trueno right from the start, and I matched the color right to the show. Um, I I'm curious to know how I picked uh Aomori as my prefecture on my license plate just because I recognize the kanji,
Oh
but
yeah,
I know nothing about the area or the region or anything like that. Did you just pick a random license plate? Did you pick
yeah, yeah. I think I threw a
what dictated
25 in
that?
there because that's like
Sure.
my number. If my playing sports growing up was like my number.
Yeah.
Um, it's now my roulette number if I play roulette. Uh, um, yeah, just random kanji. I forgot. Like I think I might have put like a 6-9 at the end of the license plate too. Like just
Perfect.
or yeah. Um, no, I had no idea what that stuff was. Again, Kyoto. I did not learn much from Kyoto, I guess. Uh,
um, so the one thing that yeah stands out is and ends up for me being a bit of a disappointment is like you you kind of need to have specific tags in order to advance against certain rivals. Like there are certain conditions to get rivals to show up on the map that only happen depending on like what kind of car you have or what your origin was.
oh,
Which
interesting.
at least as far as I've been able to tell, because I ended up having to go to a guide and see like what because basically where I got to, I'm hitting a point where no matter what day it is, I just keep like I start on a different part of the highway and I'm just seeing all green arrows around the board. Like I got them all cleared. And I'm not getting any new rivals to pop up. And I start looking into it and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And as far as I can tell, like it's because in order to trigger certain rivals, like you need to have a either a specific car, a specific prefecture that you come from, you know what I mean? Or you need to have like one of them, the condition to get them to spawn was like have 200,000 credits in your like wallet without spending it. And that's what triggers someone to show. It's like stuff like that where it's like very specific. And I don't know how I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I checked multiple guides. There's also like not a ton of like great guidance online. Like so I don't yeah. That was a little disappointing. We'll get to that in a little bit. Because generally like you just drive around Tokyo. Um where did you start? Did you start in Tokyo? Did you go to Osaka, Nagoya, Yokohama?
I think I started in Tokyo. Which one has like the C1 inner loop and outer loop?
That should be Tokyo.
I think that was Tokyo then. That's where I was.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and so the essentially when you pick an area in the game, you cannot go to another one of the areas until you clear that rival list. Tokyo has the largest rival list with 101. Osaka, I forget how many there are now. But yeah, they're all various counts. I think the other thing that dictates when people show up is if you've customized your car to a certain degree. Like there's little things like that that trigger certain people. Nagoya has 38, Osaka has 49 rivals. And then you go back to Tokyo, spoiler alert. But yeah, I mean there's over 600 in the game total. Um, and you just yeah, man, you just keep racing. Um, I want to dive into how you played this, but before that, I want to set up the premise of the game. Like what did you realize once you got it working and playing? When did it click to you why I think this game is so cool?
Uh, it was so like I got into the first race and like I'm racing. And then I don't know if I'm losing, winning. I'm probably losing, honestly. And then I like look left, or like I see like something out of the corner of my eye, like the UI, like something ticking down, and I didn't know what that was. And then like a race later, like same thing's happening. And then I just thought it was health on my car just from banging walls because I was having the hardest time figuring out the braking points on some of these turns, especially in the tunnels.
Yeah.
And then I realized, oh no, that's just going down because I'm losing the race. And I think when I realized this is just a battle system racing, I was like, oh, okay, I think I get it. And there was some like music stuff where I was like, all right, I see why this has been his jam.
It is simply that, man. It's the fighting game health meter, having two health bars on the top of the screen. As soon as you start the race and you start going, the once you get to a certain point where you're ahead of your opponent, it'll start ticking down their health. The further you advance past them, the faster that health bar will drain. And vice versa. So there's certain things where like you'll get these sort of like big event rivals that appear and challenge you, and like some of those pretty early on that come along like just smoke you. And in the process, your health bar is just depleted very, very quickly. And some of it's like really, really neck and neck. Sometimes you can kind of get the best of a rival by bumping them a little bit,
Oh
making
yeah,
them
throw
crash
him into a
into
taxi. Oh yeah.
the taxi's good, or the if a lane splits,
Oh
trying to get
yeah,
them to
the
slam
yeah.
into
Yeah, that's a good
It's
one.
great.
I've landed there
Yeah.
myself a couple of times.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, it goes both ways. Um, yeah, and that's the hook. Drive up behind someone on the map, and as you enter, like you basically start off on like very specific sections of the map, and the more you race, the more you unlock within the Tokyo Highway, and then eventually once you defeat the first ring of the Tokyo Highway, you can move to different. You can choose between Nagoya or Osaka or Yokohama, um, and those it's all the same though. You roll up behind a car on the road, you see their marker on the map. It's what green if you've defeated them. It's blue if you've not. It's orange if you've is it orange or pink if you've challenged them and lost.
It's like pink.
It's pink. And then I forget if there is orange or if I'm thinking of the newer game now.
I don't
I
recall
think it's just
orange.
I think
So
it's just pink, blue, and green. You can re-challenge racers you've already like you can roll up behind someone who's green over and over again. You flick your highlights, your head beam high beams,
that's the car part.
headlights, high beams. You flick those at them with R2 to challenge them, and then it kind of like sets the stage. The music kicks in, and then you both roll, um, and you just do that forever, kind of, because you do hit a point where your tires just kind of give out and you're forced to leave, go back to the garage, and just sort of reset. I could not find a good answer. It seems like around like maybe 20 races is like the max that you can kind of pull off without leaving and getting your car tuned. Um, but you got something else tuned to get into this game. So why
Yeah.
don't you talk about your experience jumping into
So
this game?
this is like our first like legit racing game on the list. And so I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, let me bring a unique perspective. I have this racing wheel that I own that the right gear paddle was not working correctly. I've just been putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. So there's a fix online for it, so I just never attempted it because it seemed like taking the screws out were a pain in the ass. So we put it on the calendar, this was always like, what if I try to fix the wheel first, fix it,
Mm-hmm.
and then try to set this up on through PCSX2 on my PC, and then the big dream was to throw it onto my TV that's down here, which had like host my PlayStation and stuff. So about 6 weeks ago, I opened the steering wheel finally. I fixed it, which
Nice.
was awesome. That was a pain in the ass, but it was awesome to be able to fix that. So fix
Yeah,
that.
that I'm happy.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. There's a mechanism that dust can get into, so you just need to take a piece of sandpaper and just like run it between us. It's a mess. Anyway,
That
fix the
sucks.
paddle. Yeah, so yeah, fix the paddle. So like great. I go ahead. I order a long ass HDMI cord that I thought was long enough, but it's not. So it's really janky setup down here right now. But ran the HDMI cable, got the steering wheel hooked up to the computer. Everything's reading right. I got the Logitech software that gives me different options with the steering wheel. Had some hurdles with PCSX2. Essentially, I just needed a newer version, and it worked a lot better with mapping and stuff like that. And then it was just a matter of getting it all the sensitivity, and that was the biggest hurdle. It took me it took me way too long to discover that I just had the wrong version of PCSX2, and I could have made my life a lot easier. And then it's
Yeah.
really just tuning. So like with the steering simulator stuff, the newer game, for example, I have like one of the F1 games on my PlayStation. It has really great options for like sensitivity on the wheel. I forget it's like L. It starts with the L. It's like log. Linearity. There's this really cool linearity setting where it's like a ramp. So like instead of you go poking left, your car just darting left. There's like a anti sensitivity that lets you ramp up the turn. So that way it's
Yeah.
not as like touchy. And so like there's that. With specifically with PC. I can mimic wheels of PlayStation 2 that only had like a 360 degree turn radius. I can mimic that through the settings here. So touching those up from the newer ones being 900 back to those old default ones. So pretty much tweaking all three of those sensitivities. That takes a little bit, especially if there's like no
Yeah.
real guidance online. Got it all tweaked out, and I got it working. I was having fun, and that's where like I played multiple quests because I thought I got it a couple times, and then it didn't happen. So like I'd even save the game. I just like threw out the save and
Quit.
started again.
Yeah.
So after doing that about 4 or 5 times, I finally got it the stick, and So the racing wheel, it's a cool experience. I mean, it's what it is. You got pedals, you got the wheel. This game emulates. It was like the GT racing wheel. I believe it was also a Logitech product. But it only has 4 buttons, so it's kind of weird. You have to use
Oh,
the controller for the menus, and then
okay.
some of the mapping is a little weird. But like headlights have a button. Um, trying to think. Oh, like the start menu has a button. I'm trying to think of the other button, but like there's like no really like good like reverse angle unless you go into the first person view that gives you the rear view mirror. Um, so that was kind of awkward, or maybe no. I don't think the wheel had it. So yeah, like having the limited buttons kind of impacted some stuff, but yeah. It was like a racing wheel. My biggest thing with this game was like I could not figure out a breaking point for these cars, and at the same time, I just didn't know if it was just me not knowing the car, if it was my settings, if I like what was the holdback here. Um, so then finally, after fighting this for multiple hours and playing for about 2 hours, once I felt like I got the settings into a decent enough window, I finally just played on controller and ended up having a lot better experience on controller. So yeah,
Love that a lot.
yeah. So what I've learned is I think after all that, this is just like an arcade racing game, not necessarily simulation. I feel like if I wanted to throw more hours at it, and I was really dedicated, I could get there with it. Especially now that I have a baseline for how a car is steering on a controller, and I've
Yeah,
spent
yeah.
a lot more time with this specific car as I've been upgrading it. Um,
Sure.
Especially with some like brake parts and some soft
Yes.
tires that have more grip and things like that. I can see maybe how the steering was just bad from the start and
Yeah,
going
it's
from
rough.
there. But no, yeah, I did all that work just for me to have a better experience through a controller. But hey, I learned a lot through that process that I will take with me going forward. So
See?
this wheel will stick around and maybe for things in the future on this list or whatnot. So or just personally, honestly, probably more so
Yeah.
personally. Um,
Um, I had a similar controller experience, very slightly similar,
yeah,
but I had been playing with a PS2 DualShock for a while, and I was having such a like hard time because remember the PS2 face buttons are pressure sensitive. Like a lot of the like mistakes I would make and I'd have to like recorrect or whatever. It was like such a fight to get like going again. I ended up popping in a PS1 DualShock and it didn't have the analog face buttons. And just being able to go like 0 to 60 immediately was much, much improved. You mentioned tuning though. Were you surprised at the level of tuning in the game?
yes, this is Gran Turismo, Forza, Motorsport, not Horizon, Motorsport
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
here. It's impressive, really, how
Yeah,
much there
for
is
like
to it.
PS2 and for it being more of a like an arcade style racer where you're just it's not necessarily a simulation. Like there's a lot of that stuff. In depth and there's explanations for each of it too that I feel like I find in this more than I ever found in a Gran Turismo of the era or anything like that. Which is cool. Um it,
And like there's shit past just picking parts too. Like you
yeah.
can set up your gear ratios.
Yeah.
Like there is a level of detail here that like this is the Gran Turismo customization package in like an arcade racer, which is
Yeah. In
wild.
a thing where like because I think for me the thing with the Gran Turismo or anything of this era of now is always the wait to play, right? Like you've got to pick your space, go there, and then and like with Gran Turismo, I had a great time with 7, but like it's still Gran Turismo. You're still going to these tracks that are like vetted places and whatever. You're loading into it. You're lining up with 6 people or 7 people, whatever. This is like you load into the map once and you're just on it forever. And there's trade-offs to that experience, but in my case, like whether it was the Dreamcast game or this one, I had so much fun. This one, I had a lot of fun because you do get the licensed cars finally. So you get to like pick things you know and recognize. And if you don't have it yet, like you unlock cars the more you go on, you're earning more money. So you're buying cars, you have different options. You can tweak and tune those. You might have something that's better for one rival gang versus another, or it might just look cooler, like whatever you want to do. And I agree with you. Like it has that Gran Turismo level of customization from the like uh performance side of things, but it also has like the Need for Speed Underground level of customization when it comes to the physical aspects of the car. Because you can, I mean, the back of the box said it, like down to the pixel design. This, I ended up like replicating a logo that I've drawn IRL in the game and putting it on like the corner of my hood and like doing weird stuff. Did you get into any of that stuff?
I saw all of it. I didn't get into it, but like um I definitely like went in and used like a color wheel to get like the hot pink
Dude, yeah.
car, and then I
Yes.
tinted my windows like a very like aqua blue, so
Yep.
my opponents know what I'm coming.
They can smell it. They can
Yeah.
see it. Yeah,
Um.
and like
So
as you defeat those opponents, you unlock their stickers too.
mhm.
So you can make yourself one of their gang if you want to or whatever.
Yeah. Like
Really cool.
honestly, I think the only thing this doesn't have that is like the like a customization op is like underglow, which is like a big thing in like underground at this time.
That was yeah,
But
for
like
sure.
other like it has literally everything else like down to like headlights,
Yeah.
brand of fucking tires, brand of tires. I don't think that has anything to do with the tire type or like how much air you have in like air pressure. That's the word I'm looking for. Air pressure or anything like that. It's just a type.
Yeah. Yeah. Um I where did I want to go next? I guess gameplay is another piece. It is repetitive. You do the same thing over and over again. Did you grow tired of that at all?
Um, I kind of did. I don't know how much of it was because I really only gave it one good play session on the controller, but like that one was like the 2.5 like 3 hour thing that I was having fun with, and I put the controller down and I never went back to it. That was more so I think just time than anything. Um, but like I would have played it again. And I wonder though how long that play session would have been because I feel like one like that 2.5 3 hours thing was me finally like oh my god like I'm not like stressing out. I'm not like not having to pause the game, go to my computer, look at the sensitivity, reboot PCSX2 because
Yeah,
changes
yeah.
don't take effect unless you reboot the game. Like it was finally like just nice just not having that kind of pressure stress kind of thing. So I think part of that was just joy of not dealing with that and two actually having fun, but I felt the repetitiveness already and I really
Yeah.
didn't stray far from the C1 loop in Tokyo.
Yeah, and I think like yeah, if you're feeling that early, it's not going to change. The thing that changes is the rivals, right? Like you do suddenly start to get rivals that are like, "Whoa, how am I going to beat that guy?" You know?
Yeah.
Or they all kind of have their own different driving personalities too. Like you'll have some that are really just straightforward AI that drive the race. There's others that are like for some reason just kind of always fishtailing. Or like
Yeah.
there's a couple of those just more aggressive than others. Some that are trying to run you off the road. Some that, um, yeah, they just challenge your expectations. But it is generally like very samey, down to the music, which I think is the biggest detriment to the game. Because I love the game loop of get on highway, drive until you find another rival, flash head beams, race. It's fun, but the song, dun, 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 it's just
So the instruction manual does not make it clear how to challenge your rival. It does not tell you to do the button, or if it does not tell you to go into third gear.
Wait, do you need to be in third gear?
Well, well maybe my gearing was like right in that window of like slowing down, but you have to like slow down next to
Oh,
them.
yeah. Yeah, you need to slow down and then hit the high
So
beams.
it took me like 15 minutes to even
Yeah.
see like the thing where it's like ready for you to hit the high beams because I'm
Oh, yeah.
crashing in. I'm like brake checking.
Yeah.
And like, what the fuck do you do with this car? And then like one time I went into the pits and came out and like I got one of those weird challenges like that just on spawn that come. I was like, all right, well
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
maybe that's it. I don't know. Maybe I gotta like warm up the car and then get the pit and then I'm ready to go. So like that happened, but then like it spits me back on the highway and I'm like, how the hell am I gonna challenge this thing? And finally, like I think I just like spun out and I just happened to be spinning out at the right at the right speed
Speed.
and I was like in
Yeah.
the proximity and I saw the thing pop up and I was like, oh wait, hold on, do I need to like slow down? And yeah, well, as soon as you're like coasting, that's when I realized like, oh, that's when you hit the headlights. I'm like, stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid. But yeah, no, that took me way too long to discover how to actually challenge someone.
I but now okay, because that's become my favorite part after playing a couple of these games now. Like, where do you land on it now that you know the loop? Now that whatever, like, do you like a game like this? Do you like the more traditional? Let me pick a course and go race there. Obviously, there's room for both, but
I think it's more so the mood and what strikes me. The only thing
yeah,
about this one was like as fun as like once you get into races, they really lasted like less than a minute. And
a lot
then
of them do. Yeah.
you're back on the highway trying to catch the next opponent if there is one on the map.
Right,
And I
because
feel like
sometimes that can be fewer and far between.
that is like I'm out of like active gameplay than in it. And that was like the detriment, especially once, well, like, I did not have it nearly as bad as you, but especially once I had to pass two green cars to get to a blue car,
Oh
or
man.
take like a take a risk and go off the C1 loop and go and take one of the other highways that you can't see the arrows for, and just kind of hope that you find something there because the arrows will appear kind of once you dedicate yourself to that highway. Um, that's like the one detriment. Now, like when you get into a race and like you said, like I think like the AI variety is really cool because I noticed that too, where like some of them are just like totally aggressive. Some of them, I just don't think they knew how to use their car. They had two sets of tires, way different from.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the fishtailing, I was a victim of that for about 3 races until I got the money. So from Gran Turismo, I know like, oh, get off the treaded tires, give me a full soft rubber tire, and improve the grip of the car.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't have enough money to do the front and the back, so I was like, let's do the fronts. And
Yeah,
yeah,
front wheel drive.
I was all over the place for a couple races till I got the funds to
That's good.
do both sets of tires. So yeah, I in those instances, I just don't think the AI has a good setup on their car. Uh,
Yeah, probably
But
not.
anyway, no, and but like I saw the different varieties of like AI types and stuff like that, and you know I did like that. It definitely, especially like the more aggressive ones that were using the health bar and like kind of like
Yeah.
rubbing cars with you or trying to push you into stuff. I thought was cool. But yeah, just the lack of moment to moment gameplay or like I don't know, like that was the thing that kind of I don't know how long I stick around kind of thing. Because like at least like some like Gran Turismo, like I know the amount of downtime between races, but once I'm in one, I'm in one for probably like 3 laps at least on a track
Sure.
that will take probably lap times in some of those tracks and some of those cars like 2 minutes each lap, so 6 to 8 minutes or so. Um, and then go out to the menu, customize the car, and you might be in that menu for a little bit longer than you would be from moment to moment here. But it I don't know, I don't feel it as bad, or maybe I just haven't played it lately. But if I don't know, I felt that lack of moment to moment racing kind of here a little bit more
Yeah,
than
I
I think
get
other
that.
games.
I think if this had if this game had a radio station, I feel like,
Yeah, I
or
think
stations,
that would help
it
because
would give
that
you something to do.
because that's what's
What do you
what do
do
you
on the highway? You
no,
listen to music,
I was
right?
gonna say
Like
what do you GTA between missions or events or
100%.
listen to
Like,
Chatterbox.
dude, that's the only thing to me, like outside of some like at times obtuse progression requirements, the only thing missing from this game for me is sound.
Yeah,
Because it's the same song. There's different songs when you have like different challenges and races and things like that. I got to a point where I just started making my own playlist. Like I literally have one called I forget the name of it in Japanese now. I, I named it after the what is it, Shitoku Battle. Yeah, I named it Shitoku Battle, and I just started adding songs to it that I felt like I would have been listening to if I were driving a car on the Japanese highway in 2003. But like, give me a pop radio station, give me a rock radio station, give me a talk radio. Like I will sit and listen to a bunch of people speak in Japanese for hours. I promise you. Like, give me that, and I'll just hang out in it. I don't care. I just want that experience of like being in a Japanese high on a Japanese highway. I think that'd be fun to like have that. And the super disappointing thing is, right now at least, it's still not in the new game. It's the one thing missing from the new game is music. Like they have one song that play. And I remember at launch of the new one, like that was the thing where people were like, "This game rules, but is there really only one song?" It's kind of a staple for the series, sadly. Um, yeah, I think if you can take it outside of the game and make your own playlists, that's
yeah,
you'll have a good time.
I could see
But
that. But no, I didn't think about the music thing until you brought it up. But that might cure that. I think that would cure some stuff for sure.
because like seeing the same sceneries, like yes, it's gonna be repetitive, but the fact that there's really like nothing else, like that, like as you're just cruising is like it's fine.
Yeah,
But if I'm able to like put the radio interface on the screen, let me hit R1 to change. I guess is R1 gear shift. I forget now.
it is. R1
Yeah,
and L1
so
your
maybe not there.
shifts.
Um, maybe not there. But either way, like you could do something to make the radio interactive and do something there that would have gone a long way. Um, yeah, what else do we have to hit on this one? Visually, I think the game looks great. Looking at it side by side with pictures of real world Tokyo, it's cool. Like seeing some of the
Okay.
specific areas is really neat. Again, that's another thing John Linneman does really great in that video is like he was actually in Tokyo when he made the video, so he was in a car and like filmed going over the Rainbow Bridge and then compared it side by side with the different iterations of Rainbow Bridge in the Tokyo Extreme series. So like that's cool, and like even if you don't look at it side by side, I think you can still feel the authenticity of the highway. Like it does feel like you're on a Japanese
Oh
highway.
yeah, for sure. Especially with like just like how things open up, then go down, or like lanes open up, then lanes go
Yes.
down, and there's like sub areas where like the you have head on traffic, and then you don't have head on like yeah.
Yeah.
The exits feel like exits and off ramps or entrance ramps or off ramps. Passing's tough there, especially if there's a taxi in the way.
Yes, 100%. Um, did you have a specific rival that gave you any trouble or anybody that jumped out that
uh, there's any of the special ones that kept popping up early on. I think were the toughest ones. I forget what rival gang that was they were coming from, but like they weren't even
a lot
in like
of rolling guy?
yeah, like not even like the I don't even think they were in like the Tokyo list of rivals. I think they were like the question mark list and like they don't know where
Oh,
they're
these are
at.
the wanderers that show
Yes,
up.
the Wanderers. Yes, they were the
Yeah,
ones
yeah, yeah.
that were challenging. I got the win at sometimes, but yeah, they were when I saw those creep up on me, I was like, okay, I'm in for a let's dial in, you know.
I have a note here in all caps that says betrayal jackknife arrival. That was a character that showed up at some point.
Yeah, there was a lot of
And
good. There was a lot of good Batman Forever type naming schemes here.
yes, very, very much so. One of my favorite ones that happened was I was in the middle of a race with the team leader for Rolling Guy, and it just cuts to a white screen and then starts a race with two other members from the team. So it was like double battle, which was
Yes.
wild.
Yeah, that was really cool. I did at least see one of those. Yeah, I was like, oh, what the hell's happening? And like, oh shit. And then I don't know
Yeah,
what I don't know what happened to TV, but I think he hit a taxi and he was dismissed quickly.
yeah, you can take advantage of having two people racing you versus one. Um, yeah, the overall, I really, really dig this game. It has some things that I think hold it back from being perfect, but it's just a fun time to hang out in. It's one I've been playing it this iteration or this version of the game I've been playing since January pretty regularly. Just hang out. I might do an in-game day. Like I can sit and do one. I can do 10. It varies from time to time, from mood to mood. Um, yeah, it's still fun. Just I get tired of a car. All right, let me buy a new car, change the paint on it, change the thing, tune it up a bit, you know, keep going. That said, yeah, I wish it had just a couple little things that bumped it up
I
a
will
little
say I
bit.
was sad when I didn't see Honda as a manufacturer in here. I do have my affinities for Hondas, but
I don't think you unlock them either.
no, they're not. I looked at the list. I pulled up the
Yeah.
list of all the cars when I was trying to figure out what my first car was.
Yeah, Honda, I guess, has historically not always been participatory.
They're really weird in other non-video game things too, so I'm not
Yeah.
completely shocked.
No, same. But I do, let me see if it got confirmed yet. Um, it's not confirmed yet, at least as of us recording this. Um, but there couple things. So one, the developers said that they were in talks with Honda to add Honda to the new Tokyo Extreme Racer for 2025. And I believe people found some files to indicate such. Um, yeah, I'm seeing a reference that they did show up in Zero, but I don't remember.
I mean, they've been licensed in other games. Like I think they're in Gran Turismo 7. I know they're in Horizon, the latest Horizon 5,
Yeah,
whatever one. I can't remember what the location was. But yeah, I know they were there because I was using a Civic Type R in that game. I want to say they were in GT7.
they are because I had the Civic hatchback in that game, and I think I maybe they didn't have the CRX. I always go for CRX. CRX is definitively my favorite car. I know I opened with the MR2. The CRX, I still right now want a CRX. Like if you told me, hey, there's $1,000 for a decent condition CRX, like I'm in 100%. I'll find the money. Love it. Love the CRX. I just think it's a cool looking car. Um, anyway, yeah, I don't know what else to say about Tokyo Extreme Racer 3 other than I'm so stoked we finally got to play it. I'm stoked that we got it on the list and we got another racing game on the list too. Um, what do you say? Do we rank this thing? Final thought, or do you have any other final thoughts? Anything else?
No, I like I said, I wish I had taken. In hindsight, I wish I had not put as much effort into the wheel for what it ended up being. I could have put in more time in this game. But yeah, that's like the only thing I can already said. I could see how this could be repetitive for someone. I just think
Yeah.
how into the racing are you? And I think I think its main thing though is like if you're a car head and you want to play a racing game, like this is probably the one because of the crazy amount of tuning that's in it.
Yeah, you get so much of that. Like I remember when GT7 did come out, there's one Tokyo stage where you're on kind of a Tokyo highway. I don't know if you remember that one from that, but playing
Yeah.
that, I was like, God, I just want to drive around in circles on this thing. I was like so bummed that you couldn't just like cruise Tokyo in Gran Turismo 7 because
Oh
it
yeah.
was
Okay.
like
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
you had all the modern day cars, you had all the tuning, like, oh, I just wanted to do that and you couldn't. And like, yeah, this lets you get there. Um, I don't think you can go wrong with any of the games in the series. I do really like Zero as well. Um, the first one on Dreamcast is a lot of fun. I've not played two. I guess you can go wrong. I guess the PSP version defeats the purpose of this game because then you're getting like you've got a combination of like load times, then you load into a race, you finish a race, you load back to the garage, you pick it. It's just not the same. This is just so cool where you get to just cruise, hang out, flash your lights. Yeah.
At a reasonable speed.
Well, two
Flash your headlights at a reasonable speed.
at a reasonable speed. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, if you're going too fast or too slow, they will not see you. Um,
Ramming them will not have them acknowledge you either.
that also will not, yeah, trigger the race. We rank all the video games we discuss on the podcast at thefreecheese.com/the list. And this one is no exception to the rule. Do you have a placement for this that you would like to kick us off with?
I do, and it's like I don't think I meant for this to happen. It kind of just did. I have this as the new 79 between Outrun and Mario Kart. SNES Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So Super Mario Kart. I guess I should have
Super
just said that
Mario
from the
Kart.
start. I didn't mean
I
for it to
was
be. I didn't mean for it to be between two racing games, but I kind of just
racing
saw
game.
that and just seemed
This happened.
right. Yeah.
I was a little bit higher. Where did I have it? I had it at the new number 50, below Metroid Other M, but above Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I don't mind coming up. I kind of just saw Outrun, and I was like, "Oh,
No, I
Outrun's
get
so
it.
pick up and play." Um,
This list at this point is all about like where did I start looking at it? Like, do you think it goes any higher than Metroid Other M? Start with that.
uh, uh, I don't know. In a weird world, I could see it potentially being up near the Ape Escapes and the Space Channel 5s, up
I don't disagree.
around there. There's some stuff in its path where I would argue, but I think there's more of the. I would probably put this above that than argue about some of these games. Also,
Yeah.
but going the other way from where you were going down, I think
Yeah,
there's some of that too, where it's like,
I
oof,
know.
I don't know about Dino Crisis 2. Oof, I don't know
Right.
about. Well, really, just Dino Crisis 2.
Well, then maybe that's it. Maybe it's above RE5 but below Dino Crisis 2.
I don't hate it there. Don't hate it there at
Like
all.
I definitely like this above Luigi's Mansion and Phasmophobia, but I like Dino Crisis 2. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Like personally, we're looking top 10 tier, but in terms of the list, yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Because I think
Cool.
my review, I think I haven't done the math yet. I think it ends up being low sevens for me personally. I don't, I wouldn't take that review too much to heart. Like I said, I think this is. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
this is a
yeah.
fun game. It's just how much you going to get out of it is my thing. I think some people are going to get a lot out of it, and other people
Yeah.
are going to play a couple races and be like, all right, that was fine, and then kind of move on. So this could be one of those. Depends who you are.
Yeah, that's a good point. Um, I dig it. I recommend it, but I really recommend the new one. Um, I really, if you at all are curious about this series, I would say just jump right to that. Mostly just to give the developers some support because they did it, man. Like after all this time, they came back and made another one. But also, I just think that they've learned mostly from past games. The music still not all the way there. Hopefully, that gets patched out or patched in, I should say,
Right.
at some point. Um, they've got the licenses. The other thing they've added to the progression of the new game is a skill tree. So, like, as you level up and complete things, you get skill points that you apply to different unlocks. Um, so you'll get like better attack and defense values based on where you're at in the skill tree and that kind of stuff. So it adds another layer to it. The rival system's still there. There's a really if you want to be cool, you can download it and not patch your game. Because there was a really impossible race that everybody was losing their minds at, and then people would beat it, but it was proving to be difficult, so they patched it and fixed it. But there's a lot of people who wear it as a badge of honor that they beat that
Sounds like a From
race.
Software thing.
Yeah. I did not. I hadn't hit that point before it got patched, so I'm not there. But yeah, it's a super dope series, and I'm glad we got it all on the list. The 150th game on the list, specifically. I know we did it. So many more to go. I think. How many more video games are there?
Oh, all right. So we have Kudelka next week. Then we end our summer with Animal Crossing Part 3. And then we'll head into fall, starting
Well, but
probably.
after our video games, I just mean like we're pretty much done with video games, right?
Oh,
Like there can't be much more past what we've got on the schedule for the rest of the year. I think we maybe got one, two more podcasts, and that should be all the video games there've ever been.
oh, yeah, okay. Yep, sure.
Um,
Yeah.
We got 150 of them on here, dude. How much more?
Well, it feels like
Um,
150 get released each day now,
I
nowadays,
know.
so, or at least in a week.
Yeah. But no, like Matt said, Kudelka's next week. I'm super stoked to talk about Kudelka because that's another weird, fun. We've had a lot of cool, like, I had no idea I wanted this, in a game kind of games this year. They keep on coming. Um, yeah, that'll be next Monday. We, where are we at? What day is it?
It is August
August 11th.
11th.
So we're moving. We got we got some video games. Yeah, summer's almost over, so stay tuned, kids. Get out to the streets of Tokyo and race a car. Till then, thank you, Matt. Thank you. See you next time.